Chapter 12. Love at Work, Offices, Glances, and Unwritten Rules. Have you ever wondered why love stories so often spark at the office? We often spend more hours with colleagues than with family, sharing the morning coffee, the stress of deadlines, and small daily wins. It's no surprise that in this hive of activity, hearts sometimes beat faster right in the middle of reports and meetings. Popular imagination even jokes about your work wife or work husband, that person you share knowing smiles with at lunch, and messages like, "The boss was impossible again today." When you work side by side with someone, you get to know them in a way no dating app can match. You see them on good days and under stress, you learn how they handle pressure, and you discover shared values or interests. In a way, time spent together at work functions like an extended date, where people gradually demonstrate character and empathy, and when two glances meet across the monitors, who knows? Cupid might strike under the glow of fluorescent lights. Beyond the jokes and nicknames, the psychology behind office romances is perfectly natural. We're social creatures, and our brains link safety and belonging to the group where we spend most of our time. Having someone at work, an ally in the face of a tough day, can offer emotional comfort. Think about how good it feels when someone brings you a coffee just when you thought you couldn't go on, or when you can share the excitement of a project you both sweated over. Teamwork brings people closer. In every "we've got this," and every collective sigh at the end of a long meeting, a bond is built. And that bond is often the starting point of love. Two hearts that sense we're in the same boat. The office also provides ready-made common ground. There's no need for forced small talk like on a date, because you already have something to discuss. How was it in your department today? Comes naturally. Relationships at work can thus blossom organically, grounded in trust and shared interests. And yet, love at the office carries its own special charm precisely because it comes with a touch of mystery and adrenaline. There are so many unwritten rules. Don't mix work and personal life. The whispers that start the moment two colleagues smile a little too warmly, the fear of the rumor mill. All of this can make the romance feel even more intense. The forbidden is alluring, an old truth. When you know your relationship has to be discreet, every fleeting touch beneath the conference table has the flavor of adventure. A simple exchange of glances in the hallway can send shivers down your spine, precisely because it's your secret. Have you ever wondered whether, paradoxically, that secrecy adds to the magic? For some, the fact that an office romance is a small taboo only fuels the fire. It makes them feel like co-conspirators in a story the rest of the world mustn't discover. Of course, it comes bundled with mixed emotions from enthusiasm to anxiety, but no one ever said falling in love is linear or calm. Which brings us to the other side of the coin, risks and challenges. If the first part reads like a romance novel, secret meetings, messages with subtext, two hearts beating in sync among copiers and paperclips, the second can feel like a psychological thriller. What if things go wrong? Complications can be serious. At stake are not just your feelings, but your livelihood, your team, perhaps even your career. An "I love you" whispered by the water cooler might seem harmless, but if your love disrupts the office dynamic, some colleagues may raise their eyebrows. Inevitably, whispers appear: is X getting special treatment because they're with Y? Or do you think their decisions are still objective? The perception of favoritism can strain the atmosphere, even when both of you are trying to stay professional. If one of you manages the other, things become even more delicate. Any praise, or conversely, any criticism directed at a romantic partner at work will be viewed through the magnifying glass of suspicion. Even without meaning to, your relationship can stir up envy or resentment on the team. What's more, there's the spectre of internal policies in the HR department. Many companies have clear rules about relationships between employees, from disclosure requirements to outright bans, especially where there's a direct reporting line. Breaking these rules can mean warnings, career stagnation, or in extreme cases, even losing your job. Imagine the pressure, being in love while fearing you could lose everything if it comes to light. No wonder many experts, when asked what they think about workplace romance, answer bluntly, better not to do it. But the heart has plans of its own, doesn't it? Even with risks hanging overhead, people still fall in love at work. Because no matter how many rules we write on paper, we can't tell the heart whom to love. We can only try to navigate carefully between two worlds, the personal and the professional. So, love at the office is a tightrope walk between joy and fear. On one hand, it's wonderful to have your person by your side in the corporate jungle. Someone who understands you, listens to you, and brightens your day with a smile from the desk across the way. On the other hand, every move must be measured, every kiss postponed until after hours, every message typed carefully so it won't be intercepted. It's a part-time love with full-time emotions. The benefits? Plenty, daily emotional support, the certainty that you have a reliable partner in both life and projects. But the risks are just as real: jealousy, uncomfortable colleagues, a dip in productivity when you drift into daydreams instead of working, or the biggest challenge, painful breakups carried into the next day behind a forced smile at the office. To have your heart broken and still have to work side by side with your ex, that's a test few of us would choose to face. Still, despite all the constraints, love finds unexpected paths. When two people truly click and resonate deeply, they'll take the risk and give it a chance, even at work. Let's look together at what such a story might look like in all its colors, the soft pink of happy beginnings and the gray of storms that may follow. It's almost 10 at night, and the office building is wrapped in after-hours quiet. In the open plan space, the lights are dimmed, the computers slumber in standby, and the air carries a faint scent of paper and cooled coffee. Jennifer types the last lines of a report, letting out a small sigh. She's the only one from her department who stayed late, or so she thinks. 2 desks away, behind a partition, Michael rubs the back of his tired neck and peeks over his monitor. He sees Jennifer focused, a lock of hair falling over her eyes, and smiles without meaning to. In that fluorescent hush, her presence makes him feel a little less alone. Michael works up the courage and stands, heading toward the little kitchenette in the corner. He fills his mug with water, stretching out the moment in hopes Jennifer will notice him. A flutter of nerves runs through him like a teenager, looking for excuses to talk to the girl he liked. Suddenly he hears her gentle voice behind him. "So we're back to drinking water so we don't fall asleep on the keyboard?" Jennifer asks playfully, taking a few steps toward him. Michael turns, surprised, a warm smile in his eyes. "Guilty as charged. I figured a hydration break is better than a 5th coffee today." Jennifer laughs softly and straightens up, rolling out her shoulders. Fatigue shadows her green eyes, but her smile is genuine. "It's late. I think we're the only ones left around here," she notes, glancing around at the empty office. "Yeah, looks like we're the last survivors," Michael jokes, "the department's unsung heroes." "Yeah, the boss will call us heroes only if we hand him this report finished by tomorrow, otherwise we're the slackers who were late." Jennifer sighs, rolling her eyes at the thought of coming in early again. Michael looks at her with compassion, and he feels a little bolder. "You know, a crazy idea just hit me. Want to order something to eat and finish what we have together? 2 tired brains will still turn out a better report than one." Jennifer raises an eyebrow, pleasantly surprised. "You'd really do that?" "My report is for finance. It's not your department. I don't want to keep you any longer." "Well, to be honest, mine isn't done either. And anyway, food is a good enough reason for some late-night team building, don't you think?" Michael says with a broad smile. Jennifer feels a wave of relief and joy. A little company is just what she needs right now, she tells herself. "All right, I promise I won't tell your boss you defected to finance," she chuckles. Before long, the two are sharing a makeshift pizza and joking in whispers by a monitor, like 2 co-workers who have, almost without noticing, become friends. The light is soft, casting gentle shadows on the walls, and outside the rain begins to tap lightly at the windows. The atmosphere is intimate, like an empty cafe. Jennifer laughs at a story Michael tells about a blunder he made in a meeting, and Michael finds himself enchanted by the sound of her laugh, so genuine in the quiet of the evening. Minutes pass, the reports take shape, but neither of them is in a hurry to finish. They feel good like this, almost forgotten by the world, two people sharing the same bubble of calm and good cheer. At one point, Jennifer yawns involuntarily and brings a hand to the nape of her neck. "Ugh, I think I sat too stiffly at my desk," she complains, massaging her neck. "May I?" Michael asks hesitantly, standing up. Without thinking too much, he offers to work some of the tension out. He gently places his palms on Jennifer's shoulders and begins a gentle massage. "Ah, thank you. I really needed that," she murmurs, closing her eyes for a moment. His touch is firm yet gentle, and it crosses Jennifer's mind that she hasn't felt this much attention from someone in a long time. As Michael massages her shoulders, his gaze falls on her profile, the delicate line of her jaw, her long lashes, a stray lock of hair brushing her cheek. He feels a sudden urge to lean in and kiss that lock of hair, but he stops himself just in time. "What are you doing, man?" he tells himself. "She's your colleague." Jennifer, though her eyes are closed, seems to sense the storm in his mind. She turns her head slightly toward him and takes his hand in hers. "Michael." He freezes, afraid he's gone too far. But in Jennifer's eyes he sees not anger, but emotion mixed with fear. "Yes," he whispers, still very close to her, his heart pounding. Jennifer hesitates for a second, then lets the truth come out. "Thank you for staying with me tonight. I was really having a terrible day. Now it doesn't seem quite so bad." Michael feels a wave of warmth. He keeps his gaze locked on hers. "Anytime, Jennifer. You know, I really do like spending time with you. My day is better when I hear you laugh," he confesses, almost without realizing what he's saying. The words hang in the air between them. Outside, the rain picks up, drumming against the windows. Jennifer bites her lip, surprised by the confession. She feels her cheeks burn and slowly withdraws her hand from his, only to offer it again, this time to hold his. "I like it too. I mean, my day's better with you, Michael," she says softly, her voice trembling with sincerity. That's all Michael's heart needs. Without another thought, he leans in and kisses her gently on the forehead, testing the waters. Jennifer looks up and, in a sudden burst of courage, tilts her face up to his and brings her lips to his. Their kiss is hesitant at first, like an unspoken question, then grows warm and lingering. In that moment, the sound of the rain falls away, and the empty office seems to melt around them. It's just the two of them, and a kiss that confirms what neither had dared to say out loud until then. A few weeks later, Jennifer and Michael are living a little secret paradise. At the office, they're professional and keep up appearances. No colleague would suspect from their reserved behavior that, after hours, the two of them stroll hand in hand through the park or head to dinner with the fluttery nerves of teenagers. Inside, though, each day is lit up differently. Jennifer comes to work with her heart skipping. She knows that at the coffee break Michael will accidentally be waiting by the coffee machine, just to slip in a, "Did you sleep well? I can't wait to see you after the meeting." Michael finds it easier to focus when he knows she's close by and jokes to himself that the projects are running smoothly because he's found his motivation at the office. Both are glad to have a trusted ally in the sometimes dreary world of work. Still, the tension of playing hide-and-seek makes itself felt. When a nosy colleague remarks on the flush in Jennifer's cheeks after a lunch break spent with Michael, she blames the hot soup. When her direct supervisor asks them both why they seem to get along so well, "You and Michael make a good team on the joint project, Jennifer feels her heart skip a beat. Is it just an innocent question, or does she suspect something? And inevitably, one morning, one of Jennifer's co-workers walks abruptly into the office kitchen and catches Jennifer and Michael standing a bit too close. They immediately spring apart, pretending they were talking about the weather. The colleague says nothing outright, but her probing look says it all. "You've given yourselves away." The rumor starts to circulate, stealthy as a mouse in the walls. At first it's just a suspicion. Have you noticed Jennifer and Michael go out to lunch together a bit too often? Soon it's the favorite smoke break gossip. There's definitely something between them. Do you think the bosses know? Jennifer hears from a friend in another department that whispers are going around. Her stomach twists into knots. After all, they're not doing anything wrong. Both are adults, single, at the same level with no direct conflict of interest. And still, why do I feel like a criminal? She asks herself, lost in thought. One afternoon, Jennifer's boss calls her in for a private conversation in his office. Jennifer walks in with her heart in her throat, guessing the reason. The manager gives her a formal smile. "Jennifer, please have a seat. I'll be direct. There are some rumors going around the company that you and Michael from procurement, are very close." Jennifer feels her face go hot. She clears her throat. "We're good friends, sir. We work well together on projects." "I understand. You know our internal policy." "Yes," he continues. "Any relationship between employees has to be declared to HR, especially if it could affect performance or the work atmosphere." "I know, but there's nothing official to declare." Jennifer tries to dodge the subject, nervously fiddling with a pen. The director laces his fingers together on the desk and sighs. "Jennifer, you're a valuable employee. I wouldn't want you to trip yourself up. Just be careful, okay? Don't let things get mixed up. You know how talk starts, and it would be a shame, especially with promotion reviews coming up soon." The last words hit like a thunderclap. Jennifer walks out of her boss's office with her ears ringing. Promotion? She knows she's in the running for a better position, but now it's clear, if her relationship with Michael becomes official or causes problems, goodbye promotion. She feels a mix of anger and panic, not at Michael, but at the situation. She wishes she didn't care about gossip, yet here something beautiful is turning into a source of stress. That evening, Jennifer and Michael meet at his place, away from prying eyes. In a trembling voice, Jennifer tells him about the conversation with her boss. Michael wipes the tears gathering at the corners of her eyes and kisses her forehead. "He has no right to meddle in our personal life," he mutters, frowning. "Maybe, but the reality is he does. And so does everyone else. I feel so many eyes on me at the office I can't concentrate anymore. I'm afraid every joke has a subtext. Michael, I don't know what we should do," Jennifer sighs, leaning on his shoulder. Michael falls silent for a few moments, stroking her hair. He's heard innuendo in his department too. Nothing serious yet, but enough to annoy him. He wants to shield Jennifer from all this tension. Suddenly, a painful idea hits him, and he voices it slowly. "Jennifer, what if I looked for another job, or a transfer so we wouldn't be working at the same company?" Jennifer pulls back a little, eyes wide. "You'd give up your job because of me?" "Not because of you, for our sake," Michael gently corrects her. "Look, you've worked hard for that promotion, you deserve it. And honestly, I'd feel freer too, not having to hide. If we weren't co-workers, no one would have a word to say." Jennifer grips his hand tightly. "Michael, I can't ask you to do that. You've had this job for years and there's no guarantee it will be better. Maybe we should just call it off," she whispers, barely managing the last words as if each were a thorn. "Call it off," he repeats, feeling his soul turn to ice. "Maybe what we're doing is crazy. Maybe the bosses are right. Maybe we should just stay colleagues," Jennifer says, though her heart breaks with every syllable. Her eyes fill with tears she tries to hold back. Michael runs a hand over his face, as if trying to wipe away a nightmare. "You can't be serious, Jennifer. We really have something beautiful together. I love you there, I said it. I love you, and I know you care about me too. Do you really want to throw it all away because of a few people gossiping?" His voice rises, a mix of pain and pleading. Jennifer breaks into the sobs she'd been holding back. Do you think I want this? No, Michael, but I'm scared. I'm so scared. I don't want to hurt you. And I don't want us to lose our jobs or our dreams. Maybe it's impossible for us right now. Maybe these times aren't on the side of corporate Romeo and Juliet. She tries to smile through tears, but her voice comes out ragged. Michael pulls her into a tight embrace. They stay pressed together, their shattered hearts side by side for long minutes. The rain outside has stopped, leaving a leaden sky. In Michael's living room, their love now hangs by a thread. If that's what you want, if you believe it's better this way, Michael says at last, his voice subdued, then I'll respect your decision. Jennifer sighs deeply, feeling her heart tear, but she nods slowly. Maybe just for a while, until we see how it feels, she whispers, clinging to a flimsy thread of hope. That night, their love is left behind, drowned by the fear of consequences. They part with long embraces and a bitter kiss, a farewell to what might have been. The days that follow at the office are strange. Jennifer and Michael are cordial, professional, just two ordinary colleagues. No one around them suspects their private turmoil. Even the gossips quiet down for lack of new evidence. But an enormous gulf has opened between Jennifer and Michael. In the evening, the phone stays silent. Each struggles not to reach out to the other. At lunch, they politely avoid each other. Jennifer eats at her desk. Michael goes out alone to get some air. A co-worker will joke now and then, "Hey, haven't seen you together for coffee, did you have a fight?" And each offers an excuse with a strained smile. It hurts, but they smile. That's the game. After a few weeks, Michael decides to accept a position at another company. Maybe distance will help him heal, or at least he won't have to see Jennifer every day and bite his tongue to keep from telling her again how he feels. Jennifer hears the news one morning when an email announces Michael's departure. The shock hits her in an instant. He's leaving? He's really leaving. She jumps up from her desk and bolts up the stairs to the floor above, where Michael is packing his last things into a cardboard box. He looks up when she walks in. They both freeze for a second. Then Jennifer steps closer, slowly. So this was your solution after all. You're leaving without... Her voice breaks. Michael feels an urge to pull her into his arms, but holds back, knowing the office door is wide open. Instead, he answers almost in a whisper. Jennifer, you got the promotion. I know how much it means to you. You deserve to shine here without anything dragging you down. I'll manage. It's better this way. Jennifer nods that she understands, though tears now stream freely down her cheeks. She longs to tell him so much, to give up every promotion just to keep him close a little longer, that she loves him and the breakup hurts every single day. But she says none of it. She catches his hand for a moment, squeezing it in desperation, then lets him gently pull it away. Take care of yourself, Michael, she whispers. You too take care, Jennifer, he replies, a sad smile trembling at the corner of his mouth. In the pale afternoon light, two former lovers stand facing each other like strangers, surrounded by sterile desks and the echo of the moment their hearts fell silent. Michael lifts the box, walks past her, and for a second their fingers brush again in passing. Jennifer wants to stop him, to cry out, "Please stay," but the words lodge in her throat. He disappears around the corner, his footsteps echoing down the hall. Jennifer stands motionless beside an empty desk, her vision blurred with tears. Through the window, the sun sets over the nearly empty parking lot. In the air lingers that familiar scent of paper, of coffee. Their love hasn't died, it has only retreated somewhere, quiet, into the shadows of unfavorable circumstances. In the days that follow, office life resumes its normal course, as if nothing had happened. Jennifer accepts congratulations on her promotion, tends to her projects, smiles when she has to, but sometimes, late, after everyone has left, she lingers a few minutes more. At the same desk where their love began, Jennifer touches her lips, remembering a kiss under the dim light. A solitary tear slips down her cheek like a final embrace. At night, the lights go out in the offices once more, and hearts like Jennifer's and Michael's keep beating on their own, each wondering what might have been. Their story continues somewhere, unwritten, at the intersection of love and duty, where many other hearts caught up in workplace romances try to find their way. Jennifer and Michael's story candidly illustrates the dilemmas and intense emotions of a workplace romance. From the start, we clearly see the attraction and friendship that brought them together. They spent time together at work, supported each other in the late hours, and built an authentic bond through shared experiences. In this story, their closeness developed naturally from collegial jokes and teamwork support to late-night confessions and tender gestures. In the beautiful moments, the office became their refuge, where they felt understood and valued exactly as we've discussed. That collaboration and long hours spent together can draw people closer. Their love bloomed almost inevitably, like a flower in a tucked-away garden between buildings. On the other hand, the story's bitter ending perfectly highlights the risks and pressures we talked about. Jennifer and Michael ran up against that wall of rules, written and unwritten, and the perceptions around them. Their colleagues' behavior, gossip, curious looks made them afraid and drove them into hiding, underscoring how powerful the fear of others' judgment can be in these situations. We see how fear of professional consequences, losing a promotion for Jennifer, her standing with senior leadership, ends up dictating matters of the heart. Their painful choice to part ways is not unusual. Many people in workplace romances feel this pressure and end up making sacrifices, either in their personal lives or in their careers. The story shows how hard it is to maintain the boundary between the role of partner and the role of colleague when the environment turns hostile. Jennifer and Michael try to be rational and not mix things, but each one's wounded heart proves that no matter how professional you are, when the heart hurts, the pain seeps into every area of life. Even after the breakup, they couldn't be the same as employees either. They avoided each other, their smiles were gone, and their creative energy had dissipated into sadness. This reflects the reality of many couples who, once separated, feel an enormous void at work as well. The painful lesson they learned is about the fragile balance between heart and reason. Sometimes, no matter how sincere and profound the feeling, the context may not allow it without costs. And the costs in their case match the intensity of their love, a broken heart and a new separate path for each of them. Love at work is, at its core, an adventure of the heart on a minefield. As we've seen, it can offer camaraderie, joy and support through long hours, turning a colleague into a life partner who understands both your professional ambitions and your personal dreams. At the same time, this kind of love comes with special challenges. It demands maturity, communication, and courage, perhaps more than in any other setting. It isn't easy to love sincerely while also navigating rules, opinions, and potential prejudice. And yet, as we've discussed, the heart doesn't care much for institutional protocol. It can happen to anyone. On an ordinary workday, you might meet your soulmate among files and meetings. If you've lived through the emotions of an office romance, the secret thrill of the beginning and, perhaps, the pain of a breakup among the desks, know that you're not the only one. Many hearts have raced at work, and many have had to make difficult choices. What matters is not to see it as a personal failure. It's more a lesson in balance and priorities. It shows how much open communication with your loved one matters, the importance of setting healthy boundaries, and an honest assessment of what we're willing to risk for love. Love, even, or especially at work, sometimes calls for the courage to say, we'll face every obstacle together, and at other times for the wisdom to admit, maybe this isn't the right time. The core message: love finds its way even along the cold corporate corridors, however unsuitable the environment may seem. Don't blame the heart for that. It's simply seeking happiness wherever it can. But for such love to thrive, mind and heart have to work together, the mind standing guard, protecting love from rash decisions and from situations that could needlessly hurt you, and the heart keeping the flame of affection alive with sincerity and warmth. An office romance can be seen as a flame in a lantern. It gives the two of you light and warmth, even in an impersonal space. Yet it must be shielded from the winds around it, the rumor mill, professional pressures. With patience, discretion, and responsibility, this flame can burn beautifully without dimming other lights in your life. And if circumstances still conspire to put it out, don't forget, as one workday ends and another begins, your heart will find its rhythm and its hope again. This is proof that love always finds a way, tests our limits, and teaches us about ourselves. Whether it ends in a successful relationship strengthened by respect and trust, two souls fighting shoulder to shoulder at home and at the office, or becomes a painful memory with a lesson attached, love at work is neither ridiculous nor unforgivable. It's simply another facet of the unpredictable way human hearts meet. And who knows, even among sterile desks and strict rules, two hearts may find a way to stay together, proving that true love adapts and flourishes anywhere, even under the cold white fluorescent lights, where knowing glances say everything no rulebook could ever put into words.